Heart disease is the #1 killer of both women and men in this country. This year, more than 1 million Americans will have a heart attack, and nearly 500,000 of them will die. But it doesn't have to be this way.
Before I had my heart attack, I never thought about having a heart attack. I didn't believe that I would have a heart attack. I felt like I was invincible, I guess.
So how could I have a heart attack? I wasn't fat. I exercised. I did everything right. We were thin.
I thought also that I was too young.
We need to change the way we think about heart attacks. New treatments can stop a heart attack in its tracks, saving lives and preventing disability. But these treatments work best when they're started early, ideally within an hour of when symptoms begin. The benefits of early treatment are dramatic. It can mean the difference between life and death. Unfortunately, only a small percentage of heart attack victims are treated within that first hour. That's because people delay in seeking treatment. Why? Well, the truth is that most people who are having a heart attack don't realize what's happening to them. They don't know the warning signs. Now, you may think that you know what the symptoms of a heart attack are, but in reality, they may not be what you expect. The Hollywood heart attack, the sudden, intense event where someone grabs his chest and falls over, is actually not that typical. Sometimes it can happen that way, and if you're with someone when it does, yes, by all means, call 911. Who wouldn't? But the fact is that most heart attacks start slowly, with only mild pain or discomfort. You need to be aware of the warning signs that indicate you may be having a heart attack.
I experienced some uncomfortable feelings up in my, around my throat, my chest. It caused me to labor to breathe, is what it did.
A lot of people say, like an elephant standing on your chest. I didn't have those type of pains.
I had no idea at the time what that feeling was or what was happening.
Some signs that you may be having a heart attack include chest discomfort, discomfort in the arms, back, neck, or even jaw, shortness of breath, breaking out in a cold sweat, feeling sick to your stomach, weakness, dizziness, or lightheadedness. If you experience these warning signs, you need to find out what's happening. Call 911 right away. Don't wait more than a few minutes, 5 minutes at the most. While that may sound extreme, research shows that getting to a hospital quickly is the best way to survive a heart attack. If you call 911, treatment can begin as soon as the ambulance gets to you. As most people who have had a heart attack can tell you, it's really not like the movies. Every story is unique.
You're going to hide them? You're not going to let anybody play?
Bob Weltner was 60 years old and on vacation with his wife Jean when he experienced heart attack warning signs and overlooked them.
So I sat down and rested for a while, and it went away. I walked a few more blocks, and it started again, and it went away again. My wife got upset, quite naturally.
When he said it the third time, fear set in. I was like, oh my Lord. I said, what is it? Do you have any pain? He said, no. I said, do you have any numbness? He said, no. And I said, Bob, let me take you to the hospital. And he says, no, I'll be all right.
I'm the type that never ran to the doctor just because I had a little pain. Something had to be wrong, and I didn't think anything was wrong. I didn't think anything was seriously wrong with myself at that time.
Patients often tell me that they delayed in calling 911 because they weren't sure what was going wrong, or they were afraid it was a false alarm, or they felt embarrassed about causing a fuss, or they didn't want to upset their families. But this is your life we're talking about. If you feel that something's wrong, you owe it to yourself and your family to get it checked out.
4 days later, Bob was at work when his symptoms returned, more intense this time. A colleague called 911, and the ambulance rushed him to the hospital.
I don't remember much of anything, and it's at this point in time, they tell me that I went into complete cardiac arrest. And I was in that complete cardiac arrest for 20 minutes.
When the hospital called, they right on the phone told me, your husband's in emergency room at St. Agnes Hospital, and he's having a heart attack.
My heart stopped, and in theory, I guess I was dead. But through the miracles of medical science, they managed to revive me and bring me back to life.
Let's talk about what's actually happening in our bodies when someone is having a heart attack. We all know that the heart is the muscle that's responsible for pumping blood to every part of our body. A heart attack occurs when the blood supply to the heart is cut off or reduced, oftentimes by a blood clot in one of the arteries that feeds the heart. What happens when we have a heart attack is that the heart muscle gets damaged from the lack of adequate blood supply. The longer it takes to treat a patient having a heart attack, the more severe the damage to the heart will be. And damage to the heart is permanent. The treatment for a heart attack has changed a lot over the years. 2 decades ago, there wasn't much we could do to stop a heart attack. Today, there are drugs called thrombolytics or clot busters that can quickly break up a clot in the heart's artery. There's also angioplasty, where a balloon is inserted into the artery and inflated to restore blood flow. These artery opening treatments need to be administered ideally within 1 hour of the beginning of heart attack symptoms. The sooner these treatments are given, the more heart muscle can be saved, and the better your chances of surviving and resuming a normal life.
Bonnie Brown and Joan Hamilton are sisters who were not aware of any family history of heart trouble. At age 44, Bonnie didn't recognize the warning signs when she had a heart attack.
It was a light, mild pain that made me notice something was there. And as soon as I noticed it, it went away. So then I said, okay, then, it's just indigestion.
When she came in and I saw the color drain from her face, and she's going, I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm like, you're not okay. I'm going to call 911. We'll let them tell you you're okay.
I said, she's making too much of this. Why is she calling the ambulance and just having indigestion? I'm going to take this Alka-Seltzer and it's going to go away.
Understanding the heart attack warning signs isn't only important for your own health. Very often, someone other than the person having the heart attack is the one who needs to take quick action. The patient may want to wait, but if you think your spouse or friend or coworker is experiencing heart attack symptoms, you can save a life by calling 911 and getting them to the hospital as quickly as possible.
Bonnie did indeed have a heart attack and was hospitalized for 2 weeks. Only days after being discharged, she and Joan were driving to visit a relative when Joan mentioned a mild pain.
It was in my left shoulder, and it was just in the shoulder.
She mentioned, I still have this pain in my shoulder. I should go to the hospital. And I say, you should and you will. And I kept driving her straight to the hospital.
And when we got in the emergency room, the doctor said I had a heart attack. And I'm going, no, the chances are that are like slim and none. She just had one. What are the chances of us both having it? I thought that a heart attack was for old men. And I knew I was too young to have a heart attack.
The truth is that heart disease is the #1 cause of death among women, and the risk of having a heart attack increases with age, especially after menopause. So it's essential that women become more aware of their heart health.
When we go to parties, we don't go in with the dips and the fat. We take vegetables and fruit. And that's what we eat.
Instead of using ground beef, now we use ground turkeys. Instead of fried chicken, I miss it, but I eat baked or broiled now, so.
And we're discovering spices, squash, which I've never had squash, but I'm eating spaghetti squash. We are members of the Johns Hopkins Family Heart Program. When we go to our exercise class, each week they take our blood pressure and our weight.
It's fun because now, due to our experience, our sisters and brothers are now in the same class with us.
We go to exercise together as a family. We do a lot of things together, and we're getting healthier.
Having a heart attack is a big wake-up call for most people. There's usually no problem convincing a heart attack survivor to change his or her lifestyle, to quit smoking, control their high blood pressure and cholesterol, control their weight, and get regular physical activity. Of course, it's better to take these steps now. They can prevent a heart attack from happening.
The type of exercise that I do now is I have a stationary bike that I ride for approximately 15 minutes. I have a course here in the community, which is approximately 2.5 to 3 miles, which I try to walk 3-4 times a week, and I just enjoy life.
Like so many people who experience heart attack symptoms, you might not be sure that you're having a heart attack, but you'll know something isn't right. And when that happens, the best policy, and I can't stress this enough, is when in doubt, check it out. Being prepared for a heart attack is a smart thing to do. Come up with an action plan in advance. Learn the heart attack warning signs. Talk to your family and friends about the importance of acting fast and calling 911 right away. And finally, talk to your doctor about your heart attack risk and how to lower it. Be prepared, act in time. It can save your life or the life of someone you love.
My doctor told me that if I have another heart attack, I may not make it through because my heart was damaged. I had no choice but to change everything in my life. Although I thought I was healthy then, I've got a much broader concept of health now, and I try to protect my heart.
I don't think he's ready to take any more chances. He knows how lucky he is to be here, and he can't be any more thankful.
If I can help someone else who hasn't yet had a heart attack recognize that they're having a heart attack, then I might help save that person's life. I feel very fortunate. I'm a very lucky person. I'm lucky to be here and happy to be here.
I have a lot of great people working with me, family support, so health-wise, I will be just fine.
For more information, visit the NHLBI website at www.nhlbi.nih.gov.